Hello and welcome to You Like It, We Don't. I'm one of your three hosts, Maeve.
I'm Urbia.
And I'm Margin, like Dragon Ball Z, but spelled wrong.
Yeah. Alright, this is episode number 1. This is our first podcast ever.
Yeah.
And we'd like to point out that the movie is still in cinemas.
Unfortunately,
As of this recording.
Yeah, as of this recording, unfortunately. Alright, what we're going to do today is we're going to... I don't know. Do you guys want to start?
Well, okay, the purpose of this podcast is just our opinion. We went, we saw the movie, we have some strong, shall we say, feelings about it, and,
Yes,
we're going to share them here today. But okay, as we said, these are our opinions of the movie. If you don't share them, just remember...
Very unfiltered opinions of this movie. Very, very unfiltered.
To say the least, we don't like it.
Yes.
Spoiler.
Yeah, to say the least. To say the most, we don't like it as well.
And we broke it out. Unfortunately, we broke it down to nice, digestible chapters for everybody. We're going to be covering some plot holes, some gotcha moments. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes, yes.
Characters, and then we're all going to take a little while to say pacing, direction, and what we personally would have want to have done with this movie and Star Wars in general.
Yes. All right. Oh, and also, big mention for anybody who is watching this, major spoilers ahead. If you don't want the entire movie to get spoiled, do not watch this podcast.
Maybe you should, though, because
actually,
not that great either.
Actually, let's put it for you this way. Just don't watch the movie, listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
If you see the movie, congratulations.
Yes.
We're not biased.
Yes,
just
we're not biased. If you haven't seen the movie, wow, good on you. Good on you.
How'd you miss it? All right, and on that bombshell, segue gracefully into Act 1.
Act 1 of the movie. Let's start, guys. All right.
I'll start us off. Why did the pilots disobey Leia's orders when she ordered them to not follow Poe into the Dreadnought?
No, exactly.
I mean, she's like the general of the Resistance, not just a general. Right? Do we have succession here at all, guys? Do they understand what ranks are?
It makes absolutely no sense at all. Absolutely no sense. I mean, they're following.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the heat of the moment. Like,
I got excited, guys. I had to do it.
Exactly. It's like everybody listen to me. I'm Poe. I'm Poe. You know Poe.
I'm one of the main characters. I'm sure we'll all be fine.
Listen to me, not Leia. She's a side character. She's a second character.
And then of course we segue into the second plot hole. He immediately says, "Keep that formation tight." Well, that didn't work out well for them at all.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
did it?
No, the formation didn't work at all because what was the point of having all of the bombers just in this all close to each other? There's actually a scene where one bomber gets destroyed and knocks into another bomber, destroying it.
yeah. I don't know why.
Keep it tight. Oops.
Yeah, guys, let's not do a pincer maneuver on this.
Yeah.
Let's not go from all angles so that we can actually get the bomb to hit the destroyer.
Coming through in waves, maybe.
Yes.
Or be higher up.
Yes, higher up so that the one bomber that hits the damn destroyer doesn't get destroyed itself.
Oh, so it was a suicide mission going in. No one was going to make it.
Yes.
Way.
Yes, if it was a suicide mission and no one was going to make it, why do it? I mean, does that make Poe just a sociopath then?
Well, it makes him a lucky bastard,
True.
So lucky that the bombers literally break physics.
Yes.
Imagine the pilots, while this was happening, tight formation, I don't know. This is kind of... I'll listen.
Hey guys, do you think we should listen to Leia and go back to the ship? Or that other command where she said, "Don't do a tight formation, for God's sake, don't do a tight formation." Or should we listen to Poe? Yeah. Do a tight formation.
And just all die.
Yeah.
I mean, it really makes no sense at all that Poe is commanding the entire fleet. Meanwhile, it's General Leia.
And his rank what? I think
Yes.
he was commander,
Yeah, ace-
demoted to
yeah.
captain.
Something along
But
those
okay,
lines.
as we see later in the film, discipline in the Resistance is basically non-resistance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know you love this next one.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Now I do. Why is there no?
Why?
No, let me almost say, why is there gravity in space? Why is there gravity in space?
But since you can fall down levels,
Yes.
how
Yeah.
else are you going to get the dramatic fall down a long tube without gravity?
Oh,
Don't let
yes,
space
yes.
stop you, man.
Yeah.
This-
Because it's not like in real life. If it came out of the bomber, it would just go everywhere.
Dude, you're talking like they spend millions of dollars, perfecting rockets to work in space. No, man, they just fall. That's how space works.
Yeah, that is how space works. It's all good. Whatever. It's
I
fine.
mean, how retarded would it have looked like if they dropped the bombs and they stayed in the ship? Though? How else?
Well, I mean, what would have been very funny is if she like activates the bombs, and then they all get activated, and then she's like, "Go!" and then they just start floating around in the ship.
And because they're a tight formation, it just gravitates to one of the other
One of
bombers.
them blow up, and then it like falls on another one.
How could have this work? Like maybe catapult the bombs or something?
I mean, look, okay, what about this? Make them missiles. Why not make them missiles?
Yeah,
Novel idea.
why not? Why not?
Why not? That would have taken away the entire I mean, I know that it's Star Wars and that the physics doesn't really matter. I guess somehow for people. I mean, there is always a level of disbelief, but I mean, this movie was asking way too much in the
there's this-
disbelief counter.
There's suspension of disbelief, and there's just that just clearly doesn't work. I mean, although I have to give the Resistance this one thing: bomber, OP ship
Yeah.
ever. One bomber
Yeah.
takes out a dreadnought.
Yeah, it takes out a dreadnought. In which case, you need to ask yourself, what is the point of having a dreadnought?
To say it's a fleet killer. One bomber is all it takes.
Like that was fleet killer. Yes. Fleet killer.
I mean, imagine if the bombers had light speed as well. Like that'd be unstoppable.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, why put the bomber? Just put them in light speed. Hit the thing. Straight on. There you go. I mean, shit. If they sent that woman in there to die in any case,
Yeah, 'cause they don't understand
why not?
distance.
Yeah, why not just send her? Hey, listen, you're gonna die. Just light speed into that, and we're gonna be on our way.
Right. Now the next one takes us into the realm of logical leaps. We all know those, when something has happened and you have to sort of make a few logical leaps before you can figure out. Not the Resistance, though.
Yeah, no. They always go to the most improbable of things for the answer. Every single time.
Well, before we say what this is, let's explain what this dreadnought thing is before.
All right.
This is a new ship
All right.
in the
So
Star Wars franchise.
yeah, it's a new ship in I guess in the Star Wars movie franchise. It's already
yes.
been in previous
It's for more hardcore fans, I think the best way I could describe it is it's between the standard Star Destroyer and Darth Vader's flagship. It's somewhere there in the middle.
somewhere around there. It looks kind of like there's a city on top of a Star Destroyer, essentially, and it's much bigger.
Yeah, and then they put big cannons, massive, huge, long cannons, not compensating. For
Yeah, exactly. No, not at all. And these cannons can pinpoint a rebel base on a planet from God knows how far away. We're going to bring that up in the later point.
Remember that one. That's going to be a good segment.
Yeah. We're going to bring that up in a later point. But I guess then, okay, fine. They destroy the dreadnoughts. They finally get it out of the way. Hyperspace out. And Poe gets back onto the ship and they hyperspace away. Now,
Yes.
Poe just led to the death of how many of his own brethren, his own resistance You know, like how many people did he
And
just kill?
their entire bomber fleet.
Yeah, and their entire bomber fleet.
Pretty
Yes.
much, yes.
Yes, he led them all to death, and then Leia just gives him essentially a slap on the wrist. Oh, you're demoted one level.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're demoted one level, it's fine. Whatever, you know.
I was like, no prison, no, like, execution.
No execution. No, whatever, you know.
No, wait, did he go to the dungeon or
No, he
okay,
didn't.
the brig once?
No, they never sent him to the brig.
Yeah.
Not once. Not throughout the entire movie. It was just a slap on the wrist.
Oh yeah, goes down one level. And
Like, could you imagine if that happened in real life? Okay, you're at McDonald's, you know, making a burger. You accidentally put a turd or something in the burger instead of a patty.
put a rat, a turd, and 3 pubes.
Yes.
All the same.
And then your manager just is like, you know.
You're demoted to mop
Yeah,
duty.
you're demoted to mop duty. It's fine, you know, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I can't imagine there's too many people left on their resistance. So, like, he went from commander to captain. So, who's in charge of him now?
Maybe all of them died.
Maybe it's the lowest rank they have now.
Yeah, maybe that is the lowest rank. Yeah, maybe every person underneath him just died. Like, that's why she doesn't say, okay, you're mop duty, because we don't have anybody to be captain anymore or whatever he was demoted to.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
All right.
okay, the Dreadnought pinpoints the base.
No, not the base. Oh, yeah,
No, first the
pinpoint
base.
hits the base, yes.
And then they
And then
hyperspace
they hyperspace
away,
away,
which is what they do in every Star Wars movie. Then,
Figure they're safe.
yeah, they
Yes,
figure
figure
they're
they're
safe. Up
safe,
until
yes.
now, it's been perfect. Then General Hux is standing there on his flagship, and Snoke's big head comes up, and he's kind of bulldozed into the ground, wiggled around a little bit.
Yeah, you're talking about General Knox, essentially.
Is it Knox or Hux?
No, General Hux?
Knox.
Is it Knox?
Hux.
General Hux.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see how much of an impact that character had on us.
Yeah, especially on that floor.
Yes.
Good impact there.
Yes. So he essentially gets berated by Snoke. Right,
Yeah.
guys? Yeah, he gets
For
berated by
letting the
Snoke
rebel
for
fleet-
letting the rebel fleet escape.
Sorry, Resistance.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Resistance.
Yes.
Yes. Resistance.
That's the same thing,
Yes.
pretty
Resistance.
much.
Even though I'm pretty sure in the movie they actually called themselves the rebels at one point. In which case, I mean.
Okay, I think it was Republic. I don't remember any of this, but okay.
All right. So, yeah, Snoke starts berating him like for no reason. Like, why did you let them escape? Why did you let them escape? And then Hux says, "Okay, no, don't worry. Like
We still have them.
Yeah, we still have them. And then we find out that they have something that can track them through hyperspace,
Which Snoke doesn't
which
know about.
Snoke does not know about on his own ship.
Aside from the fact that
Think about this for a second. Think about this. Like, how does he not know
Yes.
that he has this technology?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he, as the leader, would have to sign off on any technological things that they need to make. Like, he needs to sign off on it.
yeah, and I understand that he, as leader, he doesn't micromanage. You know, if the stormtrooper blaster rifle gets a little more accurate, or the armor gets a little stronger, or there's a slight alteration in the Death Star, I can understand he wouldn't know or pretty much give a shit about that.
But
But up
yeah.
until now, going into hyperspace was a foolproof and flawless way of escape, and they've cracked it. Surely,
Sure.
technology like
Yes.
that you'd be aware of.
yes, on your own ship, you sure.
Yes.
You would know.
Should I point out that Snoke's also a
Yes.
little lazy? I mean, he does a Skype call within his own ship.
I mean, look, in his defense, his ship is like 60 kilometers wide.
walking into one side. It's that scene from Spaceballs where the president has to run from one end to the other because the movie is only so long and they have to make time to get to the bridge.
Yes. So, look, I guess I can understand why they did that. But all right. So, yeah. He doesn't know what's happening on his ship. The Supreme Leader Snoke does not know what is happening on his own ship, which he probably signed off on to actually make that technology in the first place.
And to flip the coin, we're going now to the one where the Resistance figure out how they track through light. Where Snoke doesn't know about the tracker.
Yes,
The Resistance
yes,
knows
they know immediately. Yes, they know immediately. They come, they come like the First Order come out of hyperspace
behind the Resistance.
fleet. Then the first thing they say is, how did it go?
Well, okay, it's okay. Picture the scene. It's Finn and Rose down by the escape pods. Long story. We'll cover that later.
Yes.
They they escape through hyperspace. The First Order tracks them. Then they obviously feel that the ship is being fired upon. And here's how it goes.
Yes.
Finn says, they must have tracked us through hyperspace. Rose goes, but that's impossible. Finn
yes.
goes, but they did it. And Rose goes, they must have a tracking
They
device.
must have a tracking device. Yes. How?
Yeah.
Like, how did they go those logical leaps? It's like,
Not there's a spy on the ship. Not
There's a spy on the ship. Not maybe force powers,
yes,
potentially.
like,
No, there's a
nothing.
hyperspace
No,
tracker.
there's a hyperspace tracker. And okay.
yeah,
and,
impossible technology up until
Yes,
now.
yes, up until now. Okay, some people are going to bring up the slight mentioning of it in Rogue One. All right. Okay, they mentioned it in Rogue One, but she never sent that information out. She only sent the blueprints for the Death Star out. So there's no conceivable way the rebels, the Resistance
would know that.
would know
But that
about
speech
that.
would still be invalid because why would she say then that's impossible? If they had an inkling that the technology was being developed, surely your first reaction would be, oh no, they've managed to perfect it. Not, oh, it's still impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that logical leap you showed me?
No, it's impossible. Oh, okay. They must have tracked
must
us.
have- yeah.
They must have tracked us.
What was the example you showed me? It's like a guy showing up with a slice of pie. And you go, where'd that pie come from? Not sure. Did you make it? No. Must be aliens.
Must be aliens. Must be aliens. There's no other explanation. Nothing whatsoever.
Well, I heard that aliens might exist, so it must be them. It's
Yes.
not,
Yes.
bought it, found it.
Bought it, found
Or in this
it,
case, spy,
Yeah.
transmission,
Yeah.
tracking device on the ship.
Yeah, that actually would have made more sense as well. Like if they planted a ship on that ship as well. Like anything
Yeah,
would
like
have
everything.
anything would have been better than then just randomly knowing that it has to be the tracking device. Okay, so
But sticking with the tracking
yeah,
device.
all right, so sticking, yes, sticking with the tracking device. Okay, they
Let's not.
specify. Yes, I wish we could,
But this
I
is
wish
too
we
big.
could. But sticking with the traffic device, they somehow they explain the tracking device as it can only be activated on one ship at a time.
Or at least one Star Destroyer.
One Star Destroyer at a time. It's on Snoke's ship.
And all
Oh,
the
that actually brings up another point. How do they know that it was in Snoke's ship? Out of a fleet of like 15 Star Destroyers and Snoke's ship, how did they know that it was on Snoke's ship? I guess maybe that's the most logical thing, but what would have happened if they
maybe-
got there and it's like, oh, shit.
Wrong ship.
Wrong ship.
Oh shit, they have more than one.
Oh, fuck.
But that brings up an even more important point. They have more than
Yes,
one.
they have more than
Why
one.
would you use only one? If they say that use too much power or something.
Yes, that would make
I would have
sense.
plugged that hole immediately. But there were 4 ships, I think. 3 or 4 ships. At the very least, you track at least each of them with
There
a
was
tracker.
more than 4. There was way more than 4 ships, man. There was way more. I think there was like almost 10 ships There's almost 10 ships, 10 to 15 ships.
No,
in
the
there.
Resistance. There were
Oh, you're
four.
talking-
There were four
Oh,
resisting
okay.
ships.
Oh, the resistance, yeah, resistance.
Yeah, the
yes.
resistance. I didn't know they had 3 ships, didn't
Yeah,
they? There
three
was the two that
capital
were. There was
ships.
2 that were following from the back.
The main cruiser,
and then
yeah.
the main cruiser. in the
Surely,
front.
military logic, which we're going to touch on a lot in this.
Yes.
Surely you,
Yes, yes.
you track at least each of the ship with at least one. Modern planes have 3 autopilots in case one of them breaks down, so even Earth logic is better than Star
Or
Wars.
hey-
Like, use 3 per ship. Can't lose
Yes.
them.
Or hey, what about this? If you don't want to have that activated on all the ships, just put it on 2. That way, if they do come up with a plan to turn one off, you have another one you can just rely on, and there you go.
Ah, that makes too much sense.
Oh no, that's no, it's so much logic. I can't handle it.
No, stop. No, it's gonna explode.
Okay, so that brings us to another good point. So Rose and Finn. Okay, so all right. Rose is trying to escape. Like, this actually leads Rose and Finn eventually end up in that conversation where Rose just magically just knows that it has to be a has to
Smartest
be a,
woman in the universe,
Yeah.
apparently.
yeah
Yes.
she knows immediately that it is a universal tracker. That's just whatever. So they
It's such a misuse of a tracker. Like, why? Like, they revealed their cards immediately. Like,
yes, they reveal their cards immediately. It's I don't know.
why not let them regroup with
Yeah.
the other resistance
Yes,
leaders when
exactly.
everybody's together? Bomb the shit out of them.
Yes,
Like,
bomb the shit out of them. Yeah, imagine if they all are on a planet, all the resistance leaders meet up, and then they're like, okay, they hyperspace in with like a couple of dreadnoughts, bomb the shit out of the planet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Then go
Resistance
for
dead.
that Star Wars
No,
equivalent of
episode
lunch.
9.
Yes, no episode 9. I mean, the way that this movie ends up, I'd rather have no episode 9, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather have no episode 9. All right, so Finn is trying to escape. He's trying to escape the I don't know, what was the ship called?
I think it's called Home One, although they didn't touch on it in the movie. That's just
Okay, he's trying to escape the ship. And this brings up a good point about Finn's character, I think, as well. Not too many people know in this situation whether he is a coward or whether he was actually just trying to get off the ship so that Rey doesn't get into the dogfight.
yeah.
Yeah.
They never really specify what he is, and he goes on a character arc and he's exactly the same person from what he was in the first movie. He was always a hero. He always sacrificed himself for the greater good. So
Why did they want to
why
make him a
did they
coward?
want to make it seem like he's a coward when he's obviously not? Why? It makes
We're gonna
no
see
sense.
this repeat itself throughout the movies. Like, it's either this or either that, but it's neither.
Yeah, it's either this or either. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the theme of the whole movie.
And should we
Gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha.
should we even talk about that side mission?
Okay, so
side
okay, wait.
mission for
Before we get to the side mission, let's talk about how they get on the side mission. So they finally end up in that room, and they call Maz Kanata. They call Maz Kanata and ask her how they can, get into Snoke's ship.
Now remember, they know Maz Kanata they met her for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Yes, met her for about 20 to 30 minutes, and Poe hasn't met her, I think, almost at all at this point. But he's
Yeah,
also part of the
barely. I think he
conversation.
maybe saw her from a distance or
So,
something.
yeah. And yeah, exactly, because he's bombing that area. He's defeating TIE fighters. Because there's no
And it's
way.
like, hey, who's that chick? TIE fighter, die!
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way that. Okay, whatever. They're calling Maz Kanata. Okay, now ignoring the whole fact that she somehow has a ship. Sorry, no, not a ship. A small little thing that's following her throughout the entire battle that she's in, which, by the way, has not been specified throughout any of the
Or-
Star Wars movies prior.
They made something about a union dispute or something, which I guess is humor.
Yeah, I guess,
I mean,
maybe.
To
Yeah.
the we are recording this in South Africa. To the people who outside, you know, the strikes here are not funny. They can get pretty violent here. So if you hear union strike, you know, it's pretty much just like the situation she was in, except burning tires and clubs.
Yeah. But definitely no droids floating around making sure that they get everything that's been said.
Flawless Skype call.
Yeah, flawless. So, yeah, like, ignoring all of that, why did they call Maz Kanata again? They could have called any of the Resistance anywhere in the galaxy. They could have called any of the Resistance. Anybody. Because, like, obviously, if the call's coming through that good, like, that must mean
Surely one of the other resistance leaders knows about this.
Yes.
Or deep in their intel
Even
division.
Chewbacca probably knows somebody who could do this. He's a smuggler. He knows those shady kind of people.
Yes, call anybody that could, like, okay, yeah, but I guess the Chewbacca thing would have made too much logical sense. But no, calling for help when you can call for help, that's even...
No, that's just
No,
stupid.
that's just
You have to
stupid.
wait until you're deep,
That is
elbow deep. And then you can call for help.
I mean... That's like being stuck on top of a building. That's like being stuck on top of a building, I guess, you know?
Yeah,
and then you have enough battery to call someone on your phone. You call a sea captain.
How do I get that?
and you ask him, "Hey, dude, you know anybody who cleans the windows for this building so that he can come get me down from here?" It's that kind of logic. Instead of calling 911, which you would do in that situation, no, I'm gonna call the sea captain. I'm gonna call the sea captain because yes, why
I'm gonna
not?
call a random person from across the galaxy just to gotta get them cameos in.
Yep.
And then they send them off on this tangent to a casino planet for a 40-minute digression.
Oh yeah.
And to find... Well, okay, we'll get to that in Act 2. I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Okay.
All right.
So then... The chase scene.
The chase
The
scene.
chase scene.
Actually-
so the chasing.
Actually, wait,
Probably the
wait,
worst part
guys.
of this movie.
Before we start the chase scene. Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, worst part of the movie. It was the movie.
Yeah. That's how we know.
It was the whole movie. It was the whole movie. But before we get to the rest of the movie, I guess, like, remember, Finn and Rose leave. They leave the ship. They leave the ship. And I guess they were being cloaked or whatever. I guess.
Another thing we'll bring up later.
Yes, another thing that would bring up later. But the thing is, they had to hyperspace, didn't they? They had to hyperspace away from the ship to get to the planet
Well, the
which they
reason
were
they
going
had to
to.
hyperspace from the ship was because Holdo would not tell them what the plan was, so they had to think of a plan themselves.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Admiral Holdo. Another character I had to be told 4 times. That's
The
how
name,
forgettable
yes.
she was. Purple hair, still forgettable.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the whole point of them being sent on the side mission... The whole point of them being sent on the side mission, right, is just because Holdo didn't tell anyone the plan. It doesn't matter that you didn't tell Poe. Okay, fine. Don't tell Poe because he just got demoted and he'll kill people, whatever, etc. But nobody knows on the ship. No one knows on the ship. Because otherwise, the people wouldn't have joined in for a mutiny later on down the line.
Yeah.
So, also, that would have prevented Finn and Rose going on their side mission. So they essentially they put Finn in a situation where he gets a side story in a Star Wars movie. He gets a side story in a Star Wars movie. Finn was one of the best characters in The Force Awakens. The most relatable character by far in The Force Awakens.
Because he has flaws.
Yes.
Yes.
And they just relegate him to a side mission, and it feels kind of like they're trying to teach him a lesson about like how bad rich people are and how bad child slavery is and how bad, like, just how bad in general rich people are, but that kind of doesn't make any sense because he says in in Force Awakens that he was taken away from his family at a young age to serve the First Order. That's immediate child slavery there immediately. How would he not understand that that's bad?
People who enslaved me are evil.
Are evil! No!
And to break the fourth wall, or I'm not sure if this qualifies as that entirely. How funny is it that Disney, a multi-billion-dollar
Yes.
company that has exploited people in the past, is now trying to lecture us about how billionaires
Yes.
exploit poor people? We know. We see you doing it.
It makes absolutely no sense. Like, and that entire side mission. But I guess we don't need to really touch too much upon this because
Well, yeah, because what,
I mean, at the
what
same
can
time,
we
this
say?
is something.
It goes nowhere.
It goes
and
nowhere
leads nowhere.
and it's nobody really enjoyed it. It broke the complete pace of the movie. It's completely broke the pace.
Shall we move on to the chase scene? The infamous chase scene.
But I get okay. Yeah, let's move to the chase scene. We'll come back to the whole Finn and Rose thing because there's a couple of things that we need to touch upon. But let's go.
Okay.
Let's go to the chase.
All
scene.
right, so let's picture the scene. They figure out immediately that they can track them through light speed, so they decide to jet away at standard speed.
Yes.
Yes.
Then there's
Because they don't have enough fuel.
yeah,
Yes,
then,
yeah.
then there's
No.
Too many
They
times.
what? Yeah. Too many times. Yeah, I think they said they only have
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
for one more hyper
One more,
space jump. Or,
Yes.
Yeah, something along those lines. So they had to then just be just far enough,
yeah.
for them not to
So
hit them.
the logic of the First Order is these cruisers are lighter, so they can outrun them. That's why they're just outside their range, and they end up in this scenario with the First Order fleet chasing them, constantly bombarding them with the cruiser in front of them. Okay, number one, weight doesn't count in space.
No.
But we established there's gravity in space, so like it must be
Oh,
true, right?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Star
but
Wars
then,
physics.
but then wait a
Kinda
second.
makes sense.
But then wait a second. But remember when Snoke's fleet came out of hyperspace and Snoke's ship was above all the smaller ships? Wouldn't that mean that Snoke's ship would just fall out of out of space and just
Crushing all of
crushing
them.
all of them and destroying them immediately?
I don't know.
But okay, let's for argument's sake say weight does count in space. If you
Yes, yeah. For argument's sake,
you know.
for Ryan Johnson's sake.
for Ryan Johnson, every person that knows physics is tearing their hair out right now. But okay, bear with me. Imagine you're in a car that's lighter than the car that's chasing you. You're both at full speed, and you're slightly faster. The gap between you opens.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you end up in this Ryan Johnson perpetual chase cycle. It means that the cruiser is supposed to be opening up the distance.
Yes, because
as they're
because
jetting away.
their excuse is because it is
Lighter.
lighter. It is lighter. That is why it is That is why it is escaping them. But they're constantly always the same distance apart. So that means that if it's lighter, it would be going faster and eventually, I guess, escape.
out of sight.
Yes.
But they get this perpetual chase scene where their logic is that the lasers, not a bullet, a laser
Yes.
can't hit them.
A laser can't hit
A
them.
laser flying an arc.
Yes, by the
can't
way,
hit
yes.
them.
A laser flying at an arc. That's not how lasers work.
I mean, if the gravity is strong enough, can it pull the laser down?
You're right.
Look, if the gravity is strong enough to pull that ship to the point where it's slow, it can pull a laser.
Oh wow, yes, that's the only explanation. That must be it. But you know what though? That brings up a good point. What about in The Lost Hope? Remember in The Lost Hope,
No, a new hope, I think.
sorry, Lost Hope.
No, no, no.
Sorry.
That's what
I'm
this
getting
movie
confused.
is.
That's what this movie was. It was The Lost Hope. It was the Lost Hope, and it failed.
Okay, Episode 9 could be called The Last Hope.
Yeah, The Lost Hope, because fuck knows if it's not good. I sure as fuck ain't seeing any other Star Wars movie again.
No.
Okay, so sorry, not The Lost Hope.
A New Hope.
A New Hope. Episode 4, A New Hope. The Millennium Falcon, which is considered one of the fastest spaceships in the Star Wars universe. Oh, and by the way, this is still canon because it was said in the movies. Yeah, remember? It's said in the movies. In The Lost Hope, they are almost caught by Star Destroyers, which are going faster than the Millennium Falcon. Remember, the only way they escaped the Star Destroyers from actually catching up to the Millennium Falcon
Was hyperspace.
was hyperspacing away. So if somebody can tell me that the Millennium Falcon is more weight than the Star Destroyers,
Wow.
I mean, I at that point, I just don't know.
The gravity in this universe, man.
Yeah,
It's a weird thing.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
It is a weird thing. All right, guys. Next up on the chopping block, I guess. Standard military procedure.
Yes.
Standard military procedure.
Then book 1,
Yeah,
page 1.
book 1, page
day
1.
one.
I would argue it's even in the introduction of that book.
It's assumed you know this before you even go to the class. I think.
Yeah, actually, yes. I think so.
Yes. They don't even bother mentioning it.
Yes.
Like,
What is it again? Right. It's
puncture movement?
No. It's 2 words. Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy don't understand it.
Approacher movement?
No.
It's why we two come from the side.
A pincer movement. There we go.
Oh yeah, the fleet chases them, and at no point did anyone think, we've got more ships. Why doesn't someone just hyperspace in there, or some of our fleet hyperspace forward?
Yes,
Come back.
like they have enough ships. They don't even need to send like a lot of ships. Just maybe 2, 3 of the Star Destroyers. Hyperspace in front. Get them from where they're headed, and there you go. End. They'll get them from both sides. They'll shoot the shit out of the resistance ship. And
Credits
then
roll.
done.
Everyone throws a
Credit-
tomato when Ryan Johnson's name pops up, and everyone leaves the
Yeah,
cinema.
everyone leaves the cinema. There you go. End of discussion. It was, from what I understand, how many hours were they in this chase scene?
6 hours, I believe. It was the entire chase.
I think it was between 6 hours and 18 hours, if I'm not. I don't know, something along those lines. They never really specify how long they are.
My car has better mileage than the ship does, but okay.
Well, I mean, they only had enough to go one hyperspace.
Hyperspace, yeah.
So 6 to 18 hours, they're going through space. And no one in the fleet, no one in the First Order fleet says, "Hey, sorry, sir. Do you think maybe we should do a pincer movement?"
Pincer movement, perhaps.
Yeah, just maybe
One of them dreadnoughts that's supposed to be a fleet killer?
Yeah,
One?
yeah,
right there?
just one, just hyperspace in front, just turn around,
Yeah, just a little bit,
Yeah, maybe,
That's it.
I mean, also, sir, what happened to those, those TIE fighters that we sent out earlier in the chase that were kind of wrecking shit up on the actual on the resistance?
Wait a minute. We could hyperspace into them, maybe, perhaps even. That's a good idea, right?
Yeah. Oh, but no, dude, you're getting way ahead of yourself.
But that's going to be fun.
Oh, that's gonna be fun, though. You're gonna have a good time saying that one. Okay, so, all right.
I don't want to make light of suicide bombing.
Yeah. I mean,
Wait a minute. It just occurred to me. Why are only the good guys doing suicide bombings in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, you'd
it's
think the
a
bad
little-
guys would be doing that, but okay, guys. Okay, wait.
But
hold
okay,
up,
we're getting
we-
it.
you know,
I'm getting it.
Yeah, okay.
We will get there. We will get there. All right, so let's get away from the chase scene for a very little bit, just how the movie
Yes.
wants it. And let's
Yes.
go to Ray. All right.
Oh, Ray.
Oh, Ray.
Our little Mary Sue.
Yes. Okay, so she gets to the planet after finding Luke. She hands him the
Yeah.
lightsaber. This is the big finale of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Luke.
We waited
Luke-
2 years
yes,
for this.
2 years for this. We had 2 years for this. Luke looks at her with a serious face. A serious face, as if he knows who she is, right? I also, I read somewhere that I think it's in the previous scripts that were for The Force Awakens, that were actually released to the public. Luke is directed in the script. Look, it says underneath Luke's writing that not writing because he didn't say anything, but okay, I guess underneath his character, Luke looks at Rey with longing, sort of like they're meeting again. Something along those lines. He needed to look
Yes.
serious. He needed to look at her like he knew who she was, as if she was an integral part of who Luke Skywalker is. It actually said that in the script. And what do we get? What do we get? 2 years of waiting. 2 years of waiting.
I was the one to even say it. Can we go on to the next point, maybe?
Here's your lightsaber. Oh, and then okay,
Throw it over the shoulder.
Throw it over the shoulder. Almost going into the water, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, can I bring up one big point? I realize
Yes.
I am but a humble Star Wars fan, but last I saw that lightsaber, it was plummeting into the gas giant known as Bespin after Luke had his arm chopped off.
Chopped off along with the lightsaber in his hand.
Yes.
Where did it come from?
Where did it come from?
Where did it come from?
come
He didn't force pull it back. Did they mine it? I don't know. I don't know how gas giants work, but does it fall out the other side and fall
Yeah,
back
and then
in?
just fall back in. Did somebody just catch it?
on
Cloud
someone's
City.
head, and they go like, "Sweet, I can sell this."
So,
I mean, knowing gravity in this universe, it probably went into space.
oh
And
no,
someone found it there.
knowing gravity, it went down, then flew up.
And sideways.
Not in an arc.
Just went in flew up, went in an arc, hit someone in the head. Oh, and it was like, oh, a lightsaber. Sweet.
I'm gonna sell it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell it to Maz Kanata. She'll know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna keep it. It's not like this is a relic from a dead religion, you know. It's not
Yeah.
like I'm gonna keep it. Just gonna sell it for scrap.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. So yeah, so Luke's reaction is completely. It makes no sense essentially. From the way that it ended in The Force Awakens to what the script even told him to do, he just throws it over his shoulder as if it's meaningless. Okay, fine. You want the Jedi to end, so you don't want the lightsaber. Okay, but I mean, you just got handed your father's lightsaber, and the last time you saw it was when your father chopped off your hand with your lightsaber in it, and it was plummeting to the core of a gas giant.
Not
And
even a
yes, not even so much as a how the fuck did you get that?
Not even a who are you?
yes, not even a who are you? Nothing, just okay, throw it over the shoulder, whatever, I don't care.
No.
I'm gonna go drink some green milk.
Yeah, and I just like to point out that moment where what are the little bird things again?
Oh, the porgs.
The porks.
The porks.
Or as I like to call it, Disney marketing scam.
Dude.
Am I the only one when the one was stepping on the button and the other one was in front of it. Am I the only one who was sitting in the cinema? Do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Spit it! Spit roast it! Spit roast it like Chewie did it! Just do it! Do it!
And then they walk off. We're like, of course not. This is Disney.
Yes.
No
Disney would
animal
never do
cruelty, just
anything like
cruelty
that.
towards Star Wars fans.
Okay, so I guess that brings up another thing. So Luke did not want to be found. He did not want to be
Oh
found.
my God, yes.
Yeah, he did not want to be found. He even says he came to the planet to die. He came to the planet to die. All right. Hold up.
That's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's
If it
fine.
wasn't
Okay, that's
For the
okay.
previous movie.
Yeah, for the previous movie, which did what, guys?
Left a
I
map.
think it was all about a map.
Yeah.
think.
Oh, yeah. He left a map. He left a map
Yes.
in BB-8 so that if someone needed to find him, they could.
Which is the epitome of that old joke that people make. Ever seen that Facebook post? My life sucks. Don't ask me why. This is the ultimate. Don't ask me why.
Don't ask me why
post. I'm
Facebook
going to
post.
this island and I'm going to die. Map right here.
Yeah, map right here. Come and see me, please.
I'm lonely. The only females are large things with green milk.
Yeah, with green milk with the most horrible
I
looking
just want
tits
some
ever.
attention.
Like, yeah, just, oh yeah, and then finally when somebody does come after who knows how long, the first thing he does is like, the fuck, what you doing here? You put the map in the BB-8 droid!
I said, don't ask me why. Leave me alone. He goes to his room.
So, I mean, what was the point of that? It kind of, it just,
Did Ryan Johnson?
He's the biggest troll in the galaxy, probably.
yeah,
That's what it-
biggest troll in the galaxy. He tells somebody, if you need me, I'm here. Somebody comes to get him, I need you, fuck off. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Like, I just,
Did Ryan Johnson even watch episode 7?
I don't think
watched
he
any
did.
of them.
I mean, apparently he was there during the making of episode 7, but I mean, if he was, then
Doing what?
He
Pouring the coffee.
No, doing what? Sniffing coke. That is what he was doing.
He obviously wasn't watching what was going on.
That's what Holly was doing. It's like, oh, they're gonna love this. Oh yeah. So yeah, Luke leaves a map, and yeah, it's pointless. That entire scene was pointless. I mean, I will admit I did chuckle a little bit, as to be expected, because I guess it was a little funny, but at the end afterwards, I kind of just felt hollow. But I guess that's what this movie really is. It's just hollow overall. It leaves you with these sort of funny moments, and then after you finish laughing, you're just like, that kind of didn't.
Yeah, the more you think about it, the sadder this movie gets.
Yeah, it really does. It feels kind of like somebody's just going, ask me what it means, ask me what it means.
Yeah.
It's just, it's...
Or it's like the ultimate dark comedy.
Yeah, while people are getting killed, they're just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah,
let me make a joke here.
Killed. Let me
make a joke here.
Boomerang with a lightsaber.
Yeah, so
that's Act 1.
yeah, that's Act 1. That's Act 1 of Star Wars The Last Jedi.
And I like to point out, this was just one viewing that I had.
Yeah, you had one viewing. I think Urbia, you also had one viewing.
Yes,
as well.
one viewing though when I go to sleep. Does that count? My nightmares. I don't know.
Yes. Okay, I watched the movie twice to.
Just to make sure.
You poor bastard.
Just to make sure I know
How did you not just walk out in frustration?
It took a lot of liquor, but a lot of liquor.
But the list of plot holes this long, only in Act 1.
Is
After
ridiculous,
maximum
yes.
of 2 viewings, You know, there are some movies that I only managed to spot the plot holes after watching it like 5 times.
Yes. Yeah, because I don't know, what's that? That's the sign of a good movie, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? That's a sign of a good movie. And this is just act 1 of one movie. And oh, might I add, or sorry, let me rather say what Mark Hamill said. It is the longest Star Wars movie to date. And it is by far the most hollow Star Wars movie to date.
Yeah, that
Yes. It's like Ryan Johnson gave Star Wars a lobotomy and just like, slipped his hand like 10 times during the operation.
Yeah, yeah. No, but remember, we already pointed out he was too hopped up on coke.
Yeah.
He was like, oh shit. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's not important. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay, whatever. That's not important either.
Oh,
All right. Guys, let's move on to Act 2.